Continuing our look at the fundamentals of blacksmithing, I thought we would talk about the process of upsetting. Simply put, upsetting is making a bar shorter and fatter in at least one dimension. Typically that's done along the length of a bar, but if you have a piece of, say, 2 by 1/4 and you need to reduce the 2-inch dimension and make it fatter in the 1/4-inch dimension, say 1.5 by 3/8, that would still be an upsetting process, although it's also going to draw out in that process. I'll start by saying that upsetting can be a little bit frustrating or upsetting because the bar is going to want to bend and twist, and the longer heat you have, the more that bar is going to want to bend and lose shape. You're going to have to spend a lot of time straightening it out and then working on it again. So the more controlled heat you can have right where you want the upset, the better off you are. So to maintain that controlled heat, I'm going to go ahead and work in the induction forge for most of this today. A torch is another good way to get a controlled heat, and we'll take a look at that as well. If you're using a forge that gets a long heat, you can selectively cool the piece by pouring water over the parts you don't want to upset. But do that quickly. You need as high a heat as you can to make the upsetting easier. Frequently, the upsetting process is just done to the end of the bar to create a thicker section for a foot or a finial end, something of that sort. You can see in this example how it's starting to go off center. So the next thing to do is straighten that before you go on. But that should give you the idea of what upsetting is. Again, you'll need to do constant refinement. Now, what if the bar you're working is a little bit too long to be ergonomic here at the anvil? You got to really raise your arm up to hammer and you don't get a good swing. That's when an upsetting shelf on the side of the anvil comes in really handy. And it doesn't really matter which end you work up. You can work the hot end against the anvil or you can hammer directly on the hot end. If the bar is longer and heavier, you can just slam it down against a steel block on the floor. And of course, you'll still need to straighten it. Now for really short heat in the middle of a bar, a torch is the perfect way to go. Now this technique does slip in the vise quite a bit, so it is not as fast and as efficient as you would like, but it can be fairly precise. In general, lighter blows show more result towards the end of the bar, and heavier blows transfer up into the bar more. So if you're trying to upset the middle of a bar, heavy blows are better. And if you're doing something short that isn't going to just fold over, power hammer or hydraulic press can really result in fast upsetting in the middle of short bars. Thanks for stopping by. Be safe, wear your safety glasses, and we'll see you for the next one.